Hi, I'm Paul McGowan, CEO of PS Audio, which is a company that you may or may not have heard of. We manufacture high-end stereo equipment, have been doing that for the last 45 years, and I'm basically a wacky engineer who likes his high-end music and stuff. But we're not here to talk about stereo equipment, are we? No. We are here to talk about the world's best chicken noodle soup, but it's vegetarian. Yes. That makes almost no sense. I told a couple of people, you know what? Most of my viewers know that I'm a vegetarian. And a lot of them ask me all the time, well, what do you eat? How do you get your protein? And why do you do it? Well, you know what? I've been a vegetarian for 35 years. And I'm 70 years old, so that's basically half my life. And since people always ask, well, what the hell do you eat? And does it taste, are you just eat weeds? And is it, no. But we do eat chicken noodle soup, but it's not real chicken. But I guarantee you, this will be the best chicken noodle soup you've ever tried. Compare it to Campbell's. I mean, I was raised on Campbell's chicken noodle soup. You know, the crap in a can, right? And it's good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, every time I got sick, I had a Jewish mother. My mother always fed me Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Had all the schmaltz. If you don't know, schmaltz is chicken fat. And I lived on it. It was great. Saltine crackers, Campbell's chicken noodle soup. But years later, I made the decision to become a vegetarian. And I always longed for that chicken noodle soup. So I finally figured out, how am I going to make chicken noodle soup that tastes as good or better than Campbell's and is better for you, because it doesn't have any meat, doesn't have all that, I don't know, Monsanto stuff. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. The key to vegetarian soup is the broth. Okay, you can, whether you do cream or broth, I'm not a vegan, so I eat butter and I eat some dairy products, right? The key is broth. Got to have good broth. And if you buy stuff like this, canned vegetarian broth, I got this down at the store just to show you, it's bad. Bad, 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 bad. Swanson's, Campbell, any of those packaged canned vegetable soup broth or vegetable broth, really bad. I mean, I wouldn't give that to my, I don't know what I wouldn't give it to. But it's basically just boiled onions and some carrots and stuff. It doesn't taste good. I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. So here's the key. There's a company in Switzerland that makes a product called Not Chicken. Clever, eh? Can you see it? Not Chicken. So not chicken cubes. And they're little bouillon cubes. Amazing. Comes out of Switzerland. I don't know how they do it. It doesn't seem to be much in it. I don't get it. Hold it right. It's got sea salt, organic expeller pressed palm oil. That sounds awful. Yeast extract, organic cane sugar, garlic, spices, stuff. All right. Well, I don't know. Whatever it is. But it is amazing. So I'm going to show you how to make beautiful chicken noodle soup, vegetarian, the best in the world. It'll take you maybe 15 minutes, and you tell me if this isn't great. All right, let's get started. Ready? Here we go. So first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to have to wear my glasses because, as I said, I am old. We're going to take, I've had this water going, so I'm going to turn it on. Here we go. And, oh, hush you. Stop. All right. And we're just going to open these little things up. Why is it doing that? Let me see. There. I don't know. So I just open these up. I pour my little broth cubes in here. Just real simple. And you can see here. Can you see what that looks like? It's just a lump of, I don't know, yellow stuff. And which is probably the yeast. And we'll talk about that in a second. So we put these in. Just throw them in. I've got 8 cups of water in here. 4 bouillon cubes. What is this thing's problem? I'm going to put that on there, let it do its thing. It's just going to boil away, right? This is not hard. All right, next thing we're going to do, I mean, again, simple, simple, simple. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to add the meat. Now, there's all kinds of vegetarian faux meat out there. There's seitan, which is basically gluten, and that's just made from wheat. And don't get me going about gluten and gluten-free. Now, look, I'm a bread snob, and I love gluten. I feel sorry because there are some people who are gluten intolerant, and I think that's called celiac disease, and it's a terrible disorder. Not very many people have it, but everybody and their brother today is going to be gluten-free. Well, not me. I like my gluten, and I like good, rich sourdough bread crackling open with butter on it. Oh, love it. All right, so I don't go in for all that, right? But I also don't particularly like all the soy products. I mean, we'll eat it once in a while. They have fake chicken that's made from soy. They've got it. My favorite, if you can find it, is called Beyond Meat. And you can see these are the grilled chicken strips, okay? Now, Beyond Meat is a new company. And they make, by the way, they make a burger, Beyond Meat burger, that I would defy most people to tell that it isn't meat. In fact, it's so much like meat that Terry, my wife, and I wouldn't eat it at first because it reminded us too much of meat. But we gave in after time. And it makes some really good bratwursts, too. But this is all made from pea protein. And yes, you'll help save the planet. And I'm not going to start preaching about why you should be a vegetarian. I just want to show you that there are some good things to eat. All right, so I take these. It's frozen. Look, you can see. See it here? It makes like they have grill marks. They're probably fake. I don't know. But it's you know. So what I do is I put it on over here, dump them out. All right. And you can fry them up. A lot of times I'll fry them up. And we can probably do that today. We'll start this going a little bit. Start that thing clicking away. I'll put a little bit of olive oil in here. And we will we'll start these suckers frying. Get some heat going on that thing. We'll fry them up a little bit just because they're frozen. You don't really need to do this. Many times it's actually easy because, well, here, watch. Let me show you something. Oops, sorry about that. I'll show you. If you take this knife and see, because it's frozen, see how easy that cuts? Bingo. And now you got nice little chicken chunks that you can do. Most of the time in chicken noodle soup, you want it, fairly small pieces of like that. So we'll fry them up if we want to here. Get that going, and we'll see how's our. Here, let me grab some of this. Oh boy, check that out. All right, let me get a little spoon. So my bouillon cubes they don't need to cook. All you need to do is just get it hot enough to dissolve, right? Again, super simple. We're letting that stuff dissolve, and oh, I'm gonna be too classy here. And I think, all right, let's check got these suckers frying a little bit here. Flip of the pan, get them organized a little bit. So you can fry them up. You don't have to. I'm going to let them fry just a little bit. Let's check our boiling water and bouillon cubes. Look at that. See that nice yellow color? All right, we're going to add to that. And here's something else that you should know as that's cooking. See this stuff? Let's see if I can get the camera here. Nutritional yeast. They call it a seasoning. This is from Bragg's. You can buy nutritional yeast in almost any health food store. A lot of markets carry it. It's called nutritional yeast. Now don't confuse this with regular yeast that you use for doing bread. Okay, this is essential, and this is probably what's in here in the bouillon cubes to make it yellow. And what I'm going to do, here, watch. I'm going to sprinkle some in. How much? I don't know. I just sprinkle some stuff in. That looks about right. Let's see. Kind of smell it. Yeah. That's it. Maybe a little bit more. You can see, I don't know how much I'm putting. I have no idea how much I'm. Half a cup? I don't know. I'm not much of one with recipes. Anyway, you put that in. Now, what that does, the nutritional yeast gives it flavor and richness, umami, I think it's called. Let's get that going here. You can see it's browning up a little bit. Nice. Okay. So as that's cooking, you can probably see where this is going. I mean, at this point, see these frozen chunks? If you want to, just throw it in. There you go. And these are probably cooked enough. We're going to dump these suckers out right over here. I'm going to chop them up, and we'll put them in. But here's the other key ingredient. So I've showed you two secrets. One, and this is important, not chicken cubes. That's the broth. Nutritional yeast. Okay, that is really important. That gives it its flavor and its heartiness. The other key, and you probably guessed it, what else goes in chicken noodle soup but the noodles, right? Now this is tricky. When I go to Whole Foods, I have to look on the very bottom of the import section. Why they do that? It's Manischewitz Klusky egg noodles. And if we, Julia Childs, I'm not. All right, I'm gonna look over here. See this noodle? This is the key. This is like a very thin egg noodle, and you have to have it. You can't use spaghetti. You got to use this kind of Jewish, Klusky, small egg noodle. That is really key, and that's the part that makes it real. So what am I going to do with that? You guessed it. We're going to just dump it in. How much? I don't know. Into this, I'm going to probably put half this pack. Is that about right? Yeah. You can put more, you can put less. It don't matter. They grow kind of, so we're going to put more. I like a lot of noodles in the soup. Now to this, if you want, you can add carrots, you could add some green stuff, some parsley, I'm just showing you the basic recipe here. So now let's turn over and we're going to go look at, we'll chop up the chicken. Done this, so you can see we'll just chop her up on this board here. This has got a lot of protein in it. I think it's 22 grams. What does it say on here? 22 grams of protein per serving, and there are how many servings? So this bag has 3 servings, so there's 66 grams of protein, which I guarantee you is a lot of protein. Here we're going to talk just a little bit because I think everybody worries too much about protein, and got to have meat, protein. It ain't true. It really isn't true. I mean, I exercise, I take care of my health, I go out and am I the epitome of health for a 70-year-old? No, but I'm doing all right. And anyway, and I don't worry too much about it. So I just, eat healthy as best I can. So, all right, we're going to just chop these up because, normally chicken noodle soup, they take the worst parts of the chicken, the parts that nobody wants, and they chop it up real small and fine because they can't sell it, on the market because you probably wouldn't want to eat whatever it is in there. And they chunk it up so that you can't really tell much about where it came from. Or, if it didn't make the dog food list, then here you go. All right, so yeah, something like that. Just so it kind of looks like that. And then we're just going to grab this. Try not to burn ourselves. Throw this in here. And voila, it's done. Now all we got to do is cook the noodles, right? Okay, The noodles are cooked. Everything is looking pretty good. Now here's the last little bit you can do or not do. White pepper. So you can buy this anywhere. I just sprinkle a bit on here. Just depends on how, that's like that. Mix that in, just gives it a little bit of kick. And there, my friends, you have gorgeous, beautiful, vegetarian chicken noodle soup. See the big chunks of chicken in there? That's the good stuff. That's the real good stuff. Now, for those of you that really love the schmaltz, which is Yiddish for the chicken fat, right? You can add butter. If you're a vegan, well, you know, I don't know. There's vegan substitutes for butter. I'm not. I like my butter and I like my cheese. So I just don't eat meat and I don't eat fish and all that kind of stuff. But this is the kind of stuff I do eat. Here's how to make it. We'll do a few more of these videos if you like them. If not, tell me to go, you know, jump away. But I got to tell you, this soup is so freaking good. You got to try it. You got the ingredients. You saw how it is. This took me all of 15 minutes. Terry just called and said, hey, I'm waiting. Where's my soup? So I got to pack this up, drive it back over to PS Audio, and we'll have lunch. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Keep music and audio in your heart and be good to yourself. Thank you.